What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about another Amazon relay topic, and that is things you need to know before the winter comes, because obviously it's coming fast. Alright guys, so some of these things I'm going to say today I've already mentioned in some of my other videos, but they need to be mentioned again, because if you're watching this for the first time on my channel, or if you've been watching all my videos but maybe have forgot I said some of these things, it's definitely a good time to remind you. Okay, so first things first, when it comes to winter driving, you need to be leaving your house much earlier than you would normally leave, to factor in how hard it's going to be to start your car, how hard it's going to be to dig yourself out, and how long it's going to take you to get to work depending on the elements, okay? Because some of the hardest part of the job can actually be getting to work to start driving all night, and when you're in your personal vehicle, it can be pretty gnarly too. So something you're going to have to do is definitely factor in a longer amount of time getting ready to leave your house and getting to work. So that goes without saying. I think most people know that if you live anywhere where it snows, but that kind of goes without saying. So that's obvious. All right. The second thing, just like it's taking you a while to get your car ready, it's going to take you longer to get your truck ready. Them diesel engines are not happy in negative-degree weather, okay? So you're going to have to start that thing for like literally 20 to 30 minutes before you plan on driving it. And that's being generous, okay? And now that you're running your truck more before you drive it, and during, a lot of people leave their truck running nonstop, you're going to be going through more gas, okay? So you need to make sure you have a gas card for your boss, or else your boss factors in that you're going to be using more gas in the winter, because that's something I noticed right away as I was going through gas much quicker in the winter in my box truck than I was in like the summer or the fall time, okay? Now, not only will you be starting your truck 20 to 30 minutes sooner than you used to, you may have to dig yourself out, okay? Now, box trucks are rear-wheel drive. Most of you know. They don't like to move. And sometimes after sitting there and the snow packs around the tires and everything, it makes a bowl and they're stuck. You got to rock your way out. It's a pain in the ass. So you need to be bringing supplies, okay? In the winter, I kept multiple ice scrapers and shovels. I kept cat litter and huge bags of salt by the plenty, okay? Because I use them as weight in my day-to-day vehicle, and also I use them at work to get the truck ready to get out, because you need to be prepared, because not every company is going to have this thing out on a lot and waiting for you. The company I worked for, they had a gravel lot that was plowed by a bunch of idiots who would plow me in, usually with like 4 feet of snow, and I had to figure it out at 2 in the morning before going to the Amazon warehouse. So these are all things you're going to have to factor in. It's something you're going to have to get used to. It is a pain in the ass when you're first waking up, and you're like, oh shit, I just want to fucking get to where I'm going, and you can't. I'm sorry I dropped the F-bomb. I wasn't supposed to, because these videos been getting loads of plays and likes. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. And some of the haters that comment on here, you know what it is, sucker. Anyway, so you have to be factoring how hard it is to get your car out, or your box truck. Also, your windows, everything's going to be iced over. Sometimes your handles are iced over to the point you can't even get in the truck to start the truck, okay? They sell de-icer for locks. I think it's basically the same stuff that de-ices windows or whatever, but long story short, you need to keep loads of awesome things on you, like de-icer and cat litter and salt, and you need to be bringing extra pair of everything, gloves, shoes, socks, pants, because breakdowns happen, okay? And I don't know about you guys, but I broke down in a box truck, and I had to sit there for like 4 to 6 hours on the side of the highway during a blizzard before. And when help did come, it came in the form of another driver from my company who was only there for us to unload my truck into his truck on the side of the highway during a blizzard, which was extremely dangerous and scary, because cars were going by, they were crashing all the time. Part of the job, guys. And guess what? I made half the money that night because he got the other half. So this is just, part of the game. A lot of you guys are new to this and you're watching stuff to find out. I'm going to tell you right now, winter is not for the frail, okay? Not only is the driving harder, not only is unloading and loading the truck harder, but everything that you do in the winter is hell. Okay, it's literally hell. It tests the strength of a man, okay, because you're getting beat down in every way possible. You're tired, you're driving through all the elements, it's hard as hell to get the pallets in there, you break down because it's blistering cold and your truck can't take it every night, and your company wants to run it without any maintenance, and then, oh darn, you blew a transmission line or something, you know. So these things are going to happen, okay? And when you break down, you have to have stuff to keep warm, okay? Hot packs, different clothes, multiple coats, the whole 9 yards, okay? I kept it all with me, and food and drink, all that. So be prepared to hunker down a while if you got to. Now, something I just mentioned a moment ago was that it's harder to push the pallets in and out of these locations, which is true. Many of the places you will go will have nights where it's just a sheet of ice, okay? And that's for driving and walking, okay? Walking to the building is hard. Driving your truck and stopping before you bump the dock, you know, is hard because you're on a sheet of ice. All these things you need to factor in. Something I did as a big guy to protect myself, because if you fall, you're going to hurt yourself. I got shoe spikes, all right? If you don't do good on ice, okay, it's cool, whatever. Go get some shoe spikes. I went and got some on Amazon. I think they were like $10. They saved my ass, all right, because I was using them every night. They're gripping. You're not allowed to wear them in the Amazon factory, all right? I'll tell you that right now, because I wore them in a couple times. I get pissed because it scratches up the floor or whatever. The ones I had, they just slipped over my normal shoes. So whether I was wearing shoes or boots or whatever, I was good that night. So that's kind of something cool that I would check into if I was you guys, because not only walking to the building, but when you're pushing the pallets, okay, you need to have grip to actually push. Sometimes it's pretty hard, especially, you know, if their dock has your truck at a slant and then you're pushing out of your truck, the floor even inside of your box can be slick, you know, from the snow getting in and water and everything. The spikes don't help so much in there, okay, but you're gonna have to figure it out. Now what I did is, there's rails on the side usually, you know, on the inside of your box. I literally would hold onto that rail and like walk up that sucker, pushing myself out. That's just the reality of the job. And if you can't do it, that's on you, because I've seen like 110-pound little girls do it, and I don't know how, but people prove their toughness every day, because it's hard for me. But I think sometimes the agility depends on your size too. I mean, obviously the 110-pound girl isn't going to worry about falling on ice as much as me, but pushing a heavy pallet uphill should maybe be easier for me than her. But either way, your body build is going to depend a lot on how hard this job is to you too. And sometimes you know, you can handle it and sometimes you can't. Never be afraid to say, you know what, this is just too much. But I'm not going to tell you to quit right away either, because my first night or two, I thought multiple times, like, man, I don't know if I can do this every night. And I got used to it very quick. So if I can, you can. Okay, so the last thing we're going to touch on is vehicle maintenance. Most of this falls back on your company, but some of it falls back on you. For instance, after a night of driving your truck, when you come and you park it, you should be bleeding your brake tanks, basically the air tanks and your brakes, when you park it for the night. Once you get it in park and everything, you throw on your brakes and all that. You get out, and if you go on the passenger side, most vehicles, or most box trucks are like this. It's on the passenger side. Some are going to be on the driver's, but most are on the passenger. Behind the door, if you look underneath there, under the steps, there's usually a little bleeder valve, okay? If you turn it, you'll hear air hissing, psh, and there's usually one or two of them. You bleed that every night when you park it, and then you reclose it. And then in the morning when you start it, you'll have to wait for them to refill, okay? You'll see everything sit back up or whatnot. But that will save your ass, because if you don't bleed your brakes and stuff, or the airlines, they're going to freeze up on you. And I had many issues with that, where they wouldn't refill or they wouldn't act correctly because we were leaving water and moisture and air in them every night, you know. So you got to kind of pay attention to that, or else it's going to kick you in the ass. One day you go to leave and your air ride's gone. You just bottomed out, or your brakes aren't working right. You'll have alarms going off and stuff. So that's a trick I learned right away. You're going to have to learn to do that. On your particular box truck, it's going to be located in different places. But if you ask somebody in your company, they should be able to help you out. Also, when it comes to maintenance, it's very important that you stay on your boss's butt, basically, to maintenance your vehicle. Sometimes you have to be the biggest advocate for your vehicle because nobody else is going to do it. So in the winter, for instance, wipers are very important. Kind of pay attention in the rain when you're driving. If it's not gripping the rain very well, it's not going to do well in the winter either, okay? And so before winter comes, you need to say, hey, boss, can maybe I get some new wipers on this truck? That's nothing for them to do, okay? Also, you need to check the tires. Some of these guys aren't changing the tires. You're spinning a little bit in a street after it rains. What do you think is going to happen in the winter when you're going down I-80 in a blizzard, okay? You need to be your biggest advocate because your life's on the line. Theirs isn't. And really, they don't care. They want to save money. They're pinching pennies. So you need to pay attention to your vehicle and be telling your company or your boss or whoever, your dispatch, telling them that they need to fix it or you're not going to keep driving that truck anyways. They can give you another truck or whatever. Another thing, this is in summer and winter, but I had a lot of issues with it in the winter. Sometimes the bolts on your mirrors will come loose or strip and your mirrors will fold in, okay? In winter storms, a lot of times this will happen because they're getting blown so hard or whatever. I don't know if it's the wind and everything. I had a bunch of problems with that in the winter, and your mirrors are very important. So you need to be scraping your mirrors. You need to be making sure that they're not loose and flapping. Some trucks come with heated mirrors. That's nice. If you have that feature, try to make sure it's working correctly before the winter, obviously. And last but not least is just like oil changes and transmission flushes. One of my main breaks in the winter was a transmission line, like I mentioned before. This had a slow leak or something, and they just kept neglecting it. And then one of these nights it was like -10, you know. I hit just like a piece of ice or something on the road, and the hose was so brittle from the cold that it broke. And then that's my night. I'm pulled over, I'm broke down, I'm freezing, I can't run the truck, and it's hours. And since it's a blizzard, all the records are busy. A lot of times in the bad storms, you're not getting help. So they're going to send people from your company or whatever. If you really need to get out of there, you can call like the non-emergency police station or whatever, and they'll send help. Somebody can come pick you up and take you somewhere warm until they can figure out what to do with your truck. So that's about everything, guys. It's just stuff to think about. Don't come out unprepared. All right, bring extra sets of clothes and stuff. I know it's a pain in the ass. You're carrying this big bag of stuff when you leave the house. But if you break down on the side of the road and all you got is like tennis shoes on, or you were being a smartass and wore shorts that day or something, you could literally die. So bring gloves, bring hats, bring coats, bring extra pairs of pants and socks in case you get soaking wet. Bring it all, dude. And just have a little emergency bag that you keep in your personal vehicle and throw in your truck every night. That's all. Maybe a couple snacks in there, some waters. That's just in case shit really hits the fan. You can bundle up and wait out the storm. All right. Something else to remember, like I said, the shoe spikes. Ice sucks. Ice is coming. Be prepared. Okay. This is going nonstop. They're never going to call off your load. Okay. There was never a time they said, hey, Mike, the weather's too bad. Don't come in tonight. No. They were telling everybody else to stay off the road, but I'm supposed to drive the 26,000-pound box truck through a blizzard 5 hours away on low tank of gas, and the tires are worn down bald. All right? They'll do it to you. So come prepared, be smart, check your vehicle, bring extra clothes, maintenance everything, the wipers, the transmission, all that. Don't forget to bleed the air lines for your brakes and the suspension. And, other than that, you should be good, man. Make sure the heat works in the truck. I forgot to mention that. Really make sure that works before winter. And that should be it. Get a good ice scraper, get de-icer. And I think that's about it, man. But stay tuned, guys. Like and subscribe. Let me know if you liked the video. Let me know if you hated the video. A lot of you guys are pretty comical who like to comment, mean stuff, whatever. I don't care. I'll see you on here next time. Subscribe for more. Ring the freaking bell. And let me know what you want to see next. Because I'm running out of ideas. And I know I've been gone for a while, but I plan on coming back strong. So let me know.